All right, what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave here to talk about Josh Taylor against Ivan Baranchyk this weekend. All right, on the Zone. All right, so if you haven't been following, this is part of the World Boxing Super Series light welterweight tournament. Okay, so whoever wins this fight here, this fight's like kind of like the semifinals or whatever. So whoever wins this fight advances to the finals, and they'll be facing Regis Prograis, okay, who just recently won a fight against Kyle Relic, all right, a few weeks back. All right, so this is a good fight. I wanted to do the video earlier. I was trying to find some older fights of Baranchyk. The proper fight to view of him is his most recent one against Anthony Yigit. Yigit, who is also a southpaw, okay, has good, solid boxing ability. Outside of that fight, Baranchyk didn't fight like really high level fighters. Okay, what do I see with Baranchyk? I think he's very strong. Okay, very physical guy, pressure fighter. Seems to have a lot of power. Throws a lot of wide shots. Okay, like he likes to throw looping shots. But looks very very strong. You know, that's what I see when I see him fight. I see a lot of strength. Okay, a lot of his punches are very violent. You know, um, throws a lot of combinations, but he's a kind of guy that he does better when you're standing right in front of him. Okay, Josh Taylor. First time I seen him fight was against O'Hara Davis. You know, there was a lot of build up for that fight, a lot of trash talking between the two. So that was the first time I tuned into Josh Taylor. You know, I never seen neither one of them fight before that. But it was a good build up for that fight, and you know I was impressed with Taylor, and I've been following him since then. Uh, he went on to fight Victor Postal, which was his best fight in my opinion. You know, a fight that he struggled a little bit early because Victor Postal is tall as well. He's a very good technical rangy fighter. So Josh Taylor really had to like dig into his his more aggressive pressure inside of him and show that he can make adjustments. And that's what I love. Like I've always loved and admired fighters that can switch it up mid fight. You know, when things are not working out that great, he was able to get in and go into his dog mode and get on the inside and rough Victor Postal up. All right, and at the end he won the fight pretty clear to me. So Josh Taylor is just a very skilled boxer. I mean, he's another guy that fights like he doesn't have that many fights, but he fights like a seasoned veteran. Like, you know, even Regis Prograis. I think Regis Prograis. I've been following the tournament. I've been doing some videos on this tournament and this division itself. You know, I've been talking about the top guys in this division. You know, ever since Terrence Crawford went up in weight. You know, who's the best at 140? And I've always said that I believe it's between Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis. We have Ramirez as a champion. We have Hooker as a champion as well. Hopefully they get to fight each other soon and unify. But I think that the best talents is in this tournament right here. You know, and I think it's between those two. You know, I figured that these two was gonna meet in the finals, and if Taylor wins the fight, you know, if he's as good as he looks, he should be able to win this fight. You know, things that I noticed in the Anthony Yigit fight with Baranchyk, Anthony Yigit boxed well. Okay, he was doing well, throwing. He was landing the straight lefts at will. You know, he was displaying some solid defense. I don't think his defense is as good as Taylor. I think Taylor is just a better athlete. I think he's has better reflexes. I like the way he ducks and bends at the waist. I think his footwork is a much better. You know, his balance. You know, just simple. You know, when I watch him in the O'Hara fight, it's just the basics. He just seems to got it better together. Like, you know, just ducking and pivoting out of the way, things like that. Like I paid close attention to. He seems like a seasoned fighter. You know, so I think Josh Taylor's and his ability. I can't forget the guy can switch it up and fight orthodox as well. You know, so I think he just has too many tools for Baranchyk. Baranchyk is very strong, but I think Taylor's defense should have not too much of a problem in being Baranchyk. Uh, outside of Baranchyk's strength and power, I don't see the ability that maybe a Victor Postal had. I think Victor Postal brought more difficult troubles to Josh Taylor, whereas outside of the strength and the power, Baranchyk is a beast. I mean, he's a good pressure fighter and everything, but I think he's someone that Josh Taylor should be able to handle. Okay, if Josh Taylor is to get a knockout, or either one of these fighters is to get a knockout in this fight, that's very, very impressive. You know, but Josh Taylor, I think Josh Taylor is gonna win, and if he really wants to make a statement, he would get the knockout, especially because of Regis Prograis stopping Kyle Relic, who Kyle Relic, even the losses that he has, he's given all his opponents trouble. In my opinion, Kyle Relic never lost a fight. I know he has 2 losses on his record, but I've seen both of those fights, and I believe that Kyle Relic won both of those fights. All right. But yeah, I think I got Josh Taylor winning this one by unanimous decision. I mean, if he is to get the stoppage, that'll be even better. But I think the two, I think between the guys that's left, it's really between Taylor and Program, in my opinion. Uh, he just got to make sure. Unlike, I think Taylor, what he needs to do is just use his advantages, box well on the outside, and if you're on the inside, get in and get out. Land your combinations, land your body shots, and move out. You know, don't sit in a pocket like Anthony Yiggett did. Yiggett is a guy that didn't have much power, and what went wrong is that he started to try to trade with Baranchyk, and he began to fight Baranchyk's fight and gave away the advantages that he had. Uh, Even though I think Josh Taylor, I don't know if he's as physically strong as Baranchyk, but Josh Taylor does hit harder than Yiggett, and even if he were to fight an inside fight with Baranchyk, I think he still do well. But I think to play it safe, especially early on in the earlier rounds, box him up from the outside, and just do what you do. If he's comfortable enough to go in there and beat Baranchyk at his own game and want to trade with him, I think that's risky, but I don't know. I think he is talented enough to even do it. It's just, I wouldn't go for that. Baranchyk, on the other hand, in order for him to win, I don't really know what he can do. I mean, based on what I've seen from him and some of his highlights and his other fights and stuff, I mean, he's a pressure fighter. Unless he changes something and make adjustments that I haven't seen so far, bring something new to this fight, I don't know if he's gonna win just based on just bringing a lot of pressure. Because Taylor moves extremely well. He's not gonna be standing in front of him, and he doesn't have like some super hand speed where I don't see Josh Taylor like. I see Josh Taylor being able to get out of the way of those shots. Like I said, Baranchyk throws a lot of wide looping shots, very powerful, but I think somebody on Taylor's level should be able to handle him. So it should be a pretty good scrap. All right, so make sure you tune into that, and make sure you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've been putting out a lot of videos lately, so check out my most recent videos too. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.